and welcome to my second lesson in a set of 3 lessons, how to read the tarot for beginners. Now in this lesson we're going to be doing the actual reading. If you're just ready to get on with doing your reading, let's get on with it. Hi, and like I said, in this lesson we're going to be doing the actual reading. Now if you've not got your cards and you're a little bit confused about buying cards, or if you're not sure what you need for your reading, you might like to go back to lesson 1. The link will be below. But if you've got everything you need to read your cards, let's get on with the actual reading. Right, where are we going to start? The first thing we're going to need to do when we're reading the cards, even before we've picked up the cards, and please do pick up your cards if you want to read along with me, is are we asking a question or are we asking for a general reading? This is important to decide before you pick up your cards, because deciding whether you are going to be asking a question and what that question is, or deciding whether you are going to be doing a general reading, is something that you're going to have to infuse in the cards when you're shuffling the cards. It's also important to do this before you pick up your cards, because it helps you decide on the spread that you're going to use. Now if you want to know more about some different spreads, there's more information and more in-depth lessons on my membership site on my website, which is starlightworkcircle.com. So if you find that these lessons aren't enough to get you started, you might like to go and have a quick look at that. These really are just mini lessons to give you a taste of the kind of work that I do. I hope that they're enough to see you to and through your first reading and beyond, but if not, like I say, go to my website starlightworkcircle.com, and there's a membership site on there where I go much more into depth. Now once we've decided if we're asking a question or if we're doing a general reading, we can start to shuffle. Now I'm a professional psychic and tarot reader, and I read the cards every single day, and I've been reading the cards for over 30 years, so when I shuffle, I simply shuffle like this. However, some people do struggle to shuffle the cards. The reason for this, I believe, is because most sets of tarot and even oracle and angel cards tend to be bigger than general playing cards. So some people do struggle, particularly if they've got small hands. Now, some alternatives to this. My daughter uses this one because she struggles to shuffle her cards as well. You can break the cards in half and put one half on top of the other. You can also put, like I did just then, several piles on top of one another. Another way is to split the cards into 3 piles. Now I'm doing it on my hand so you can see, but obviously it would be best if you had a flat surface to do this on. And then you just repile them up differently, but don't drop them like that. That's why you need a flat surface to do them on. Some people also break the pack in half, flick the cards together and push the cards together. Now I'm not going to do that. You can see I don't like that method. I feel it damages your cards, but I know a lot of people do use this method and are very happy with this method. So if that's where you feel comfortable, obviously you go with that. Now very often when we are shuffling the cards, and it's not going to do it here obviously because I want it to happen, so it's obviously not going to happen, but very often when we're shuffling the cards, a card will actually fling itself out, and most readers will take that card and use that as an indicator in part of the reading, and I will explain what that means when we get to do the actual reading. So I'm going to put that one aside and we're going to use that as an indicator. Now most people will feel when it's right to stop shuffling. Most people will finish shuffling when they've finished asking their question or thinking about the situations or circumstances they'd like to look at. Picking your cards. Now like I said, I'm a professional psychic and tarot reader. I do this every day. I just pick 3 cards off the top. So let's shuffle and ask for a nice reading for you today. I know it's going to be a nice reading because we got the High Priestess, one of my favourite cards, as the indicator. So let's just pick 3 cards off the top of the pile. 1, 2, 3. I have no idea where I mustered the strength not to peep at those cards. I'm going to peep now. There are also lots of different ways of choosing the cards. Now, the way that I was taught to choose the cards was to spread the cards out and then run your hands along the card, obviously on a flat surface, not on your hands. I can't do it here, obviously. Run your hands along the cards, and oftentimes you'll feel that a card is pulled out, or you're drawn to a particular card and pull that. Now, if you want to see some more ways of choosing cards, obviously I'll cover that in the membership site bundle. Now, interpretation is a huge part of reading the cards, and I dedicate a whole lesson to this on my membership site. I don't have time to cover it here. However, obviously I'm going to go into a quick interpretation of these cards. We can't pull cards for a reading and then not read them, or is that just me? I don't know. Right, let's have a look at this reading. Now, it does look quite dark and dismal, doesn't it? We've got the Devil, Death and the Queen of Wands. Now, I know a lot of people are particularly worried about these two cards, the Devil and Death, and also the Tower causes a lot of fear in people as well. There's nothing to be scared of, there's nothing to be worried about here, and these cards can actually be very positive, as we can see from another major arcana, the High Priestess, which is the indicator. Now, in a traditional reading, the 3-card spread is past, present and future. Obviously, I look more into depth at different spreads on my membership site. Now, traditionally, the 3-card spread is read as past, present and future. I like to read the cards all together, and they bounce off each other. But that doesn't mean that we can't combine the two meanings, past, present and future, and read the cards as one. The card that flung itself out is called the indicator. The indicator gives the theme of the reading, if you like. The High Priestess, which is a major arcana card, is all about spirituality and spiritually connecting in. Not really a surprise when we're looking at learning to read the tarot. But that gives us an indication of what the spirit guides want to talk about here, your progress forward. So let's have a quick look at the Devil, Death and the Queen of Swords. Now, to me, the Devil is all about blocks. And I would wonder whether you have been working on some blocks, or releasing blocks, or moving forward from some blocks, because this obviously appears in the past position. Whatever it is you're doing, it's working, because as we can see here, there's great change as you're moving forwards, and this can only be a good thing, can't it? We're moving away from the things that we don't like so much. The Queen of Swords is all about learning the lessons from the past and bringing that into the present day. We can use everything that we've learned to move forwards here, and move forwards in a spiritually positive way. Now, I know that was a super short lesson. I really don't have time to go into this more. Obviously, you can find out more on my membership site. I hope you joined me when I was doing the reading with your own reading. If not, you might like to go and do a reading now and get practicing and start moving forward on your tarot journey. Now, in the next lesson, I am going to be looking at how to remember the cards without having to memorise them. And to do this, we're going to be looking at the structure of the tarot itself. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I hope you join me in lesson 3. If you have enjoyed this lesson, please like, share, subscribe and comment. I would love to know how your first reading went. Thanks for joining me, and see you in lesson 3, which, by the way, the link will be below.